What is up? My name is Douglas Nybeck. This is DNA, the place where you go to learn how to act better for no money, which is great. Today, we're going to be working on a unique challenge, 3 to 5 line auditions. We've done a video on this channel for 1-line auditions, how to make an impact when you have literally no time to do it. The 3 to 5 line auditions are often more challenging because there's a lot of talking, but almost none of it is yours. So today is going to be about filling the frame, listening, forming strong opinions, making those auditions where you feel like you're just waiting for your real life to begin the entire time, feel fully fleshed out and lived in, and make a better and more bookable impact for you. So let's get into it. The first thing we're gonna do here is I'm gonna break down the scene that I wrote for this process. This is based on detective-y style shows that I have coached people on recently, but if I pulled those directly, I would be sued by the productions. So I just kind of made my own. In this scene, we've got a grizzled detective, the grizzled detective's partner, and the true crime podcaster whom I will be auditioning for, coming in as they're investigating a series of murders that my guy thinks is a serial killing. So you're gonna find out through the course of this that they've got a lot of talking to do and I don't have a lot of talking to do. And the first thing we're gonna do is just bang out the scene, kind of the way that most actors would do it. The whole standing on the mark, lit relatively well. We're gonna just do it, essentially making it about my line deliveries and going in with that kind of unimaginative but indicative of 9 out of 10 actors out there, how they're going to do this audition. Okay, so I'm gonna give a standby and then I'm gonna snap my fingers for action. Wait, hold on, I have a reader here. Dahlia, my wonderful YouTube manager and editor, is here helping me out so she can say standby and action if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Sweet. If she wasn't, we would have edited this part out.
Standing by. Action. We placed the victim's time of death at 0300.
That's the 4th killing in as many months. The pattern...
What are you talking about, the pattern? Guy's been shadowing us all of 10 minutes, thinks he understands the way we work. Young guns see patterns everywhere. Everything's a serial killer in the making. Not enough that a bunch of girls are dead. Everything's got to tie together in a nice little bow for you. Used to be a crime was a crime. You do the job, the bad guys go to jail, you live to fight another day. Now with all these true crime podcasts, don't even get me started on those. I'm sick of it.
Did you guys see this?
What?
The tattoo on all 4 women behind the left ear. It matches. Okay, cool. It's not even bad. In fact, it's probably okay. Splitting my eyeline between 2 different readers, trying to keep the frame alive and active to a degree. So I'm not just standing here eye locked on a reader already. We're implementing some of the good habits that we've talked about on the channel. However, it's still just a lot of me just standing around while interesting stuff is happening. You don't particularly learn anything about me or my character, or my character's personality, or my character's relationship with the people in the scene. You learn very little other than that stuff that people are talking about is happening. This is the big trap that actors fall into when they are self-taping. They assume that the words are the most interesting and most important part. They are not. It is a visual filmed medium. There is a reason why you have never gone to a library and been I would like the screenplay of Goodfellas to read for my leisure, please.
It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
It's because it's not inherently interesting. It's not about what's being said. It's about the behavior of everybody involved being filmed in an apparatus that is created by all of these people who are collaborating to make something excellent. Our job as actors is the holistic nature of the performance. That's not just talking words good, but that's the first and often last stop that actors go through when they're self-taping. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add a bunch of different layers to this audition. And you're gonna see by the end of it how much more interesting something like this, where all my character is really doing is just listening for the vast majority of the audition, can be. Okay, the first thing that we're gonna build into this is opinions. It's Opinion City and you should be the mayor of it. So the trap of scenes where you're listening a ton, first and foremost, is that actors forget that we are communicating non-verbally the entire time. We're gonna do a pass here where I'm gonna be doing a few things. First is forming much bigger opinions about what's being said and done to me by these guys. Second, I'm gonna be trying to get a word in edgewise. Just because a line isn't written for me doesn't mean that my character wouldn't want to speak, especially when I'm being disagreed to and kind of like mocked in the scene. So I'm gonna become a much more active participant in a scene that on the page feels very passive. Oh, also, one of the things that I need to piece together as well, I've got this like crime board that I've put over here, the board where all the pictures are and everything. We all know that. It's in every detective show ever. So I've decided to put that over here in my imagination. I'm also going to get busier with that earlier because the process of watching me piece it together is going to be more interesting than watching these two old grizzled guys moan about podcasts. The biggest responsibility I have is to serve the plot. And for me and all these guys, the plot is the discovery of the tattoos. So I'm going to serve that earlier. And that's also going to make everything feel much more interesting.
Standing by. Action. We place the victim's time of death at 0300.
That's the fourth victim in as many months. The pattern.
What are you talking about? The pattern. Guy's been shadowing us all of 10 minutes, thinks he understands the way we work. Young guns see patterns everywhere, everything's a serial killer in the making. Not enough that a bunch of girls are dead, everything's gotta tie together in a nice little bow for you. Used to be a crime was a crime. You do the job, the bad guys go to jail, you live to fight another day. Now with all these true crime podcasts, don't even get me started on those. I'm sick of it. Just let the professionals work.
Did you guys see this?
What?
The tattoo behind the left ear on all four women. They match. So do you see how much more interesting that got? The note, "you're not listening," is one of the most prevalent notes that you get as an actor. And it always bugged me because yes, I'm hearing with ears, right? I'm listening, I'm hearing the words being said. But the actual note that you don't get is you're not forming strong opinions about what's being said, and that's not affecting your behavior. So if we go back through that take that I just did, holistically, I'm interacting with them, I'm engaging, I'm forming opinions, I'm looking away when they say something that I disagree with. I even went to actually go and say something and made noise, but then I still couldn't deliver a line. False starts, stops, ums, ahs. On the day, this scene, use your imagination, it's gonna play their coverage together. Coverage of the photos of the victims, wide shots of the lightning that's happening outside and the moody evenings of the rainfall of the detective show. All of this stuff is going to be happening, and I'm going to be a part of that coverage. Here in single camera audition, this is why it's so unfair and why it's such a good test of like, can you actually do the role, is because it never cuts away from you. So we don't have the luxury of any inserts. We don't have the luxury of anybody else's coverage. So we have to really use our own and flesh it out. So that's where we start. Opinion City, you're the mayor, and how do those opinions manifest in behavior? Next, you may have noticed that I've added wardrobe to this. Now, if you've seen my one-line audition video, you know that wardrobe can make a huge difference. In this instance, there's a couple of reasons why I've chosen this. One, it feels decidedly non-cop. These two were like described in the script as like grizzled old veterans of veteranism, and they're talking about how podcasts scare them because of the internet. And I want to visually represent something that I know they're not going to be representing. These guys are going to be in gray suits. They're going to be, their faces are going to look like catcher's mitts. So I want to look much more modern, much less like I belong in this world. There's another reason why I'm wearing what I'm wearing. One, I feel like I translate more like this guy, and that helps me. Two, we always want to be asking, when is this scene occurring and where is this scene occurring? So first we're going to look at the where. Now, when you are sent an audition, you're going to be given a breakdown. A breakdown tells you something that most actors never consider: the location of the shoot and what time of year the shoot is taking place in. Right now, as I am shooting this, this is the East Coast and it is October. So we're gonna assume that this is gonna be filming in November. That's not warm. So I was auditioning in a t-shirt before, which doesn't objectively make sense in the world that my character is inhabiting. Is that gonna be a deal breaker? Absolutely not. Everybody has their t-shirts that you're just like, this is my shirt that makes me look good. And this is one of mine, so I wear it in a lot of my auditions. But this tells the story of the time of year. The next question that we ask is, when is the scene occurring? It's interior, police precinct, night. So when a scene occurs, it makes a huge difference in the way a character processes the world. Are they tired? Are they awake? How does the time of day influence them? And we're gonna go through a take of this now, where we're gonna see how the physical wardrobe manifests, and we're gonna see how the time of day manifests. And we're gonna layer that on top of all these opinions that we built in the previous take.
Standing by. Action. We place the victim's time of death at 0300.
Wait, that's the fourth victim in as many months. The pattern.
What are you talking about, the pattern? Guy's been shadowing us all of 10 minutes, thinks he understands the way we work. Young guns see patterns everywhere, everything's a serial killer in the making. Not enough that a bunch of girls are dead, everything's got to tie together in a nice little bow for you. Used to be a crime, was a crime, you do the job. The bad guys go to jail, and you live to fight another day. Now with all these true crime podcasts, don't even get me started on those. I'm sick of it. Just let the professionals work.
Did you guys see this?
What?
The tattoos on all 4 women behind the left ear. They match. So, wardrobe, layers, taking off the jacket because I'm coming in from outside. Now, does the script say they enter in from outside? No, it does not. Do I have like a bunch of stuff to fill where I'm not saying anything and I need to keep the frame alive and active? Yes, I do. The reason why I take off the jacket, one, it tells a bit of a story. We've come in from the outside and I take the jacket off and I put the jacket down. We're coming from somewhere and we're entering into somewhere else. Film and television is beginning, middle, beginning. You're always moving into another moment. So there's that. It provides an element of momentum, but also this is like a page and a bit, page and like an eighth. The vast majority of it, I am doing no talking, and the simple act of taking off a jacket fills time, keeps the frame alive and active, gives me something to do in a scene where I don't talk a lot. The third thing is, it's very simple. Auditioning is a contract between your mind that understands that this is fake shit and your body, whom you are asking to treat the fake as real. In real life, when I enter into places, I take off my coat. It's a weird little psychological trick, but right out of the gate, if I can anchor myself in something that feels real to my body, it will start cashing those checks. So that fleshes it out even further. Let's keep going.
Standing by.
Yeah.
Action. We place the victim's time of death at 0300.
That's the 4th victim in as many months. The pattern.
What are you talking about, the pattern? Guy's been shadowing us all of 10 minutes, thinks he understands the way we work. Young guns see patterns everywhere. Everything's a serial killer in the making. Not enough that a bunch of girls are dead. Everything's got to tie together in a nice little bow for you. Used to be a crime, was a crime. You do the job. The bad guys go to jail, and you live to fight another day. Now with all these true crime podcasts, don't even get me started on those. I'm sick of it. Just let the professionals work.
Whoa, did you guys see this?
What?
The tattoo on all 4 women behind the left ear that they match. And see, there we go. They're little things that seem completely innocuous as you add them. But then by the time the entire thing is done, the audition feels more whole. It feels more complete. Casting directors will tell you, and this is true, that they want the truest and most authentic version of the scene. So they're often going to say that these kinds of things aren't necessary. And they're right and they're wrong. Because when you add them, when you go from simply talking the words good, which is good acting, into layering and layering and layering more of these things, what happens is the scene goes from being an exercise in good acting into something that feels lived in. And that's where the best cinematic storytelling happens, when it feels lived in. All of these things, physical levels and layers, entering into the scene, adding time of day, these things are tricks. They are. It's not acting, the acting part of it. It's not building character, but it is showing how character manifests. And all that does is it creates buy-in for both you as the actor, but also whomever is watching it, to make them step back and go from like, "Oh, this is good acting," or "No, that was pretty good," to "That's the guy, that's the person, that fits my show." And that is something that we can influence with these types of choices. And you can tell when you watch the first to the last take of that. Does the acting tremendously change? No. Does the feeling of the audition holistically change a lot? Yes. Thinking about these things in a world of self-tapes where they used to see 25 people for a role and now they're seeing 250, feeling matters. It feeling like the thing when they watch your tape matters. So, I highly recommend you give it a try. And not just because I think these things work, but because I work with a lot of actors who book stuff, and this is the kind of stuff that we build into their auditions. If just being good was enough, there would be a lot more highly successful actors. So if you're not thinking about this stuff, you need to be. I hope that this helped you. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. If you can too, follow us across socials, D&I Act on Instagram and TikTok. Check us out, because there's a lot of little tidbits on there that'll be helpful. Go be people.